So thank you for joining me. This will be probably about 30 minutes or so, depending on questions. My name is Kathy Davidson. I'm the Executive Director of Physiotherapy Education Accreditation Canada, which is the accreditor for physiotherapy programs in the country. And over the last probably year and a half, a committee of AAAC members has been working on revising the AAAC online training course, which is a module that we charge people to take so that it's a bit of a revenue stream for AAAC. Over the last little bit, it's been revised in content, but it's also been moved to a different platform. Hopefully it's a little bit more user-friendly, and it also gives AAAC members themselves a little bit more ownership over their learners and how to monitor their progress. So I'll get started, but feel free to jump in with questions along the way. You can either ask questions in the chat box, or you can chime in with audio. It looks like everyone's connected with audio either by phone or by their computers. So the course is about 7 modules long, along with an introduction and a summary. Each module has a quiz at the end, and there's an overall exam at the end of the whole course. What we did when we were reviewing content was making sure that the language was consistent, so various organizations, AAAC members, use different language. They can use the word assessor or surveyor or reviewer or site visitor. We chose to use the word evaluator all the way through. We chose to use self-study report all the way through for things like self-assessment or self-evaluation report. Various organizations use different terminology, but we tried to make it consistent. The other language, as I go through today's webinar to understand, are these definitions. So when I talk about an administrator for this course, the administrator is MEGRM, or AAAC, the organization for whom MEGRM is our administrator. A manager is somebody like me, the primary contact person at AAAC member organizations. I will show you the list of who we have as those names in a moment. And if it's the wrong person for your organization, please just contact MEGRM and let them know, and they can change the name for the course. And then the learner is a little bit more self-explanatory. The learner is the new assessor or evaluator or surveyor that you would like to have take the course. They probably are new to your roster of reviewers, and as part of their training, they're going to go through this module as one of a few steps as they get trained to be an on-site person. So before, in the old platform, what had to happen if you wanted one of your reviewers to take a course, the manager, someone like me, would have to contact MEGRM, the administrator, for a PIN number. The administrator would send me an invoice, and I would pay it, and then the PIN number access would be set up. And then I would contact my learner and send that PIN number and the instructions to them, and they would complete the course and the quiz. The challenges that we found, at least a few of us found with that system, is that only the administrator, so someone at MEGRM, right now it's Kayla who's sort of in charge of that. It could be Amy or Lynn as well. Someone at MEGRM had to do the reset of the PIN numbers or assist learners with access issues or help them problem solve if the PIN number wasn't working anymore. And then only the administrator could issue a certificate of completion, and that was just by the learner asking for one. And the managers, like me, I wasn't able to monitor progress through the course and make sure that my own learner finished the work. I couldn't tell if they'd even started it, I couldn't tell if they'd finished it, and I couldn't tell where they were along the way. So if I was trying to figure out how long it was going to take them to finish it so they could move on to their next training piece, I didn't have access to that kind of information. So now what happens is that, and I'll go through this step by step, I, as a manager, can purchase what we call tuition credits from MEGRM at $75 per learner. That's the same cost for the course as it was previously. But I do all that through PayPal. So I just go to the website and purchase those, and I don't actually have to communicate by email or face-to-face with anybody. So if I want a new reviewer to take the course, I log into the system, I register that learner, and then I transfer tuition credits to that learner's account, and then I send the username and password to the learner, and they complete the course and the quiz, and they can print out their own certificate. The advantages to this is that the learner can reset their password themselves if it's forgotten, just like you can on many websites now. And I can access reports that monitors the progress of all the learners through the course. So I can always tell whether they've started it or finished it or what module they're at. And the only thing that Megrim is doing from an administration perspective is to make sure that there are tuition credits available for me to buy. So I need to buy tuition credits for my learners. I do that through Megrim, and Megrim has to have them available for me. So there are instructions available, and that's what I'm going to go through. They're in a PDF, and I'm going to display that in a minute. We're going to make sure the PDF is available on the members-only side of the AAAC website, and you can get it through Kayla at Megrim as well. I anticipate there will be some managers who don't want to do all the work to set up their learners, who just want to have Megrim do it all for them, set up the learner, get the access codes, and send it off to the learners. You can ask Megrim to do that, and they'll charge you $5 per learner. So if you prefer not to be part of all of that administrative piece, or if your organization doesn't want to be part of that administrative piece, then certainly you can have Megrim do it all for you, just like before, and they will just charge you $5 per learner. In a minute, I'm going to show the list of manager names and emails. If you're not the right person on there, then you need to just contact Megrim and have them change the current contact person or add you to the list if you're not there at all. So the PDF that will be available for everyone looks like this. Oops. So the beginning of it goes through the definitions I just talked about, administrator, manager, and learner. Talks about the tuition credits. So that's the fee that each AAAC member organization has to pay for a learner to have access to the course. In this current structure, you have to buy 75 tuition credits, and they're each $1, so you're essentially paying $75 for each learner. So I'm going to go through this PDF, but I'm going to not have it on the screen. I'm going to actually do it on the web. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Actually, what I'm going to do is log in first. And go through the system. Okay, so this is what the login page looks like. It happens to be pre-populated with my email, but we're actually going to start with creating a learner account. If that is too small, could someone just type in the chat box or let me know, and I can zoom it a little bit. It looks small on my screen. Pretty small, but okay. All right, so I'll just leave it for now. If anyone wants it bigger, let me know. It won't matter in a minute because we'll get to a different screen. So let's say that you're ready for one of your learners to take the course. What you would do is go to this website and you would create a learner account for your new learner. So the username can just be their email. So I'm going to make one up so you can see how it works on the other side. And you only have to complete the asterisk names. So I'm calling my learner Susie Q. Put in a password, confirm the password, and nothing else has to be completed except you have to choose your own organization from this list of AAAC member organizations. So I would choose Physiotherapy Education Accreditation Canada so that this learner ends up on my list and not somebody else's. And then I would register. So it says my account was created successfully, and I can now log on. So if I log on as Susie Q, hopefully I type it right, and enter, there's Susie Q up at the top left's learner page. So you can see that you would have to send them Susie Q and their password, But if they were to forget their password in the future, they would come into this page and put in their email, and then they could say forget password, and they would get a new one. So it's much easier than having to go through Megram to have them reset things, or you to have them reset things. And they can also change their password up here if they don't like the one that you've assigned them in this page of your thing. So if they are logged in to their training, you will send these instructions to them later, but you would have them access My Training, and they would choose one of these courses, English or French, to take, and they would move on to do that. But the problem is for this learner, they have 0 tuition credits. You see up here? Because as a manager, I haven't transferred tuition credits to Suzy Q yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and show you the manager page and how you can transfer tuition credits to this individual. And then when they go in to log in, they will have 75 tuition credits up here, and they can take the course. So I'm going to log off as Suzy Q, and I'm going to log in as myself as manager. So my manager page is slightly different. There's a few extra tabs over here. I have reports accessible to me. But really what you want to be doing is going to your account here along the left side. This is all in the PDF, so don't feel like you have to scribble furiously. You go to My Account, and here is a list of PEAC's learners right now. And if you want to transfer tuition credits to Suzy Q, you would go up along the top here and pick Tuition Credits Transfer. Put in at least 75 because the learner needs 75 credits to do the course, and put in their email in this line and then transfer. So you can do this one learner at a time, or if you have 3 or 4 learners, you can put in all 3 or 4 of their names and transfer 75 credits to each of them by putting a semicolon in between. I think the instructions are fairly self-explanatory. So that's how you transfer credits to a particular learner. So when they log in, they have their credits ready and waiting for them to take the course. But what if you as a manager want to buy credits from Megram? The way you do that is on the same page here. You purchase tuition credits here. You tell them how many you want. So remember, you need to buy them in multiples of 75. I don't know why it defaults to 50, but you need to buy in multiples of 75. If you have, say, 4 learners, you can buy whatever that is, 300 credits at once. You don't have to do 75 at a time. And they would just sit in your bank until you use them. When you hit, so if I was to say I want 300 credits, I would hit purchase here, and I would be taken to a PayPal site, and the PayPal site would send me a receipt. So what PEAC did was set up a PayPal account for PEAC with my email address. And so when I purchase tuition credits with the PEAC PayPal account, I get a receipt to my email. And that's how you purchase tuition credits for your own bank of learners. So you have to first purchase tuition credits, and then you have to transfer tuition credits to the learner that you want to take the course. So once you've done that, you've transferred credits to the learner. They have 75 credits sitting in their personal account to take the class, the course. You then email them and provide them with the URL and the username and password and tell them to click on My Training, like we did earlier. So this is my page, not Suzy Q's. This is PEAC's page, and we've purchased 150 tuition credits, but Suzy Q would have 75 credits in their bank, and she would pick either French or English to take. And then when they've clicked on it, I won't go through the whole process because I don't want to spend my 75. You have to tell them to say, yes, I'd like to deduct my credits, because they might hesitate there, but yes, they have to deduct their credits, and then they can go ahead and launch the activity of the course. And each time they log into their site and launch the activity, they'll be taken back to the spot in the course where they ended last time, so they don't get sent back to the beginning.
Kathy, it's Laura.
Yes.
I was just going to recommend, I put it in my email when I send people their login information. I actually tell them that we've purchased credits for them and
Yes.
that they should spend them so that they, first of all, they know to do this and say yes. And second of all, because it makes them realize that we buy this course for them, so it's of value.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important to reiterate that you can't just let this sit and not do the course because we've actually purchased the credits. So
Yeah.
Laura, who was just speaking, is my administrative assistant, and I've put her in charge of this whole process. So she's more familiar with it, but she's the one that's been notifying our learners about how to take the course. So the other big advantage to this system from my perspective, and it might not be as useful to everybody, but I certainly find this really helpful to know if we're waiting and waiting to find out whether our learners have gone through the course, is you can get a report. If you click on reports down the left side of your manager page, you can get a report of all of your learners and where they're at in the course. There's instructions about how to do this in the PDF, but the short way to show you is that you can see that it defaults to Physiotherapy Education Accreditation Canada, because this is my page. I can't see any of your organization's lists. I can only see mine. I can get a report for all of my learners by clicking Create Report. It takes a couple seconds to generate, but essentially this is all of my learners. Each of my learners has access to English and French, by the way. They can only use one of them, but they have access to either. And I can see along the completion column here on the right side that a few of them haven't even attempted it yet, and that's because we haven't sent them the login information yet, so that doesn't surprise me. But a couple of them have been given the login information and they have completed it. So we know what date they finished the course, and we sort of know pass or fail on the test at the end. I'm not sure what the pass-fail rate is. I can't remember what we set it at, but it's not very high. But we just want to know that they've been through the whole thing and they've completed it right to the end, and that completion date is listed on the right-hand side. None of our learners are halfway through, so I can't really show you an effective report, but if you ask for a report at module level up here, and again, this is in the instructions on the PDF, then you can generate a report where it'll tell you at what module your learners are at. So these two people have finished their training course completely, you can see. And they've passed it. But if I had a learner that was halfway through, it would tell me where they were at along the way. So are there any questions about that at this point? I don't have much else to tell you except that I think if you work your way through the PDF, let me get back to my PowerPoint and I'll move through to the sort of summary piece. But if you work through the PDF, it's pretty self-explanatory how it all works. Essentially, you buy your tuition credits via PayPal, you register your learner, you transfer tuition credits to your learner, and then you notify your learner to do the course, and you can get a report out to see where they're at. And again, if you don't want to do this, if you were a manager or your organization doesn't want to be in charge of this, you can ask AAAC to do it for you at a $5 per learner fee. And I know that there will be some organizations and managers who will choose to do it that way. The training course, as I said at the beginning, is a revenue-generating activity for AAAC. So I'm encouraging everyone to consider using the course as part of the training and orientation that your reviewers have to complete. And managers, or like one person at your organization, can have access to the course for free so that you can go through it and see what it's all about before you start sending it out to reviewers. But we do ask that that access not be shared beyond just yourself, because as I said, it's important to generate revenue for AAAC. Are there any questions that I can answer at this point? Looks like no. I'm going to show you the list of individuals. It's at the end of the PDF. The list of individuals that is registered as the contact people for your organization. So the whole big long list is here at the end. If it's, like I said, if it's the wrong person for you, I can scroll down in a second. If it's the wrong person for you, or you'd like someone else within your organization to be the contact person and have access, then just let AAAC know, let Kayla at AAAC know, and she can change the name. Or if your organization is not on here and you are a member of AAAC, then let them know as well and it can be added. Alice is asking if I'll send a list of current contacts. I can ask Kayla to send that to everybody, along with the link to this webinar once it's posted, and then everyone will have it. If you want to email me, I can certainly send you this PDF now. And though I have some of your emails, not all of them, but if you would like this PDF immediately, just let me know. My email, where did I put it? Or would it be easy to find? My email would be here, if you can see it, if it's not too small. It's kathy.davidson@peac-aepc.ca. And I can send it to you. And I can send you the link too. I'm not sure how long it will take for AAAC to get it up on their webpage. Any other questions? Oh yeah, my contact info is easy to find on the Contact Us of the PEAC website if you're looking for it after today. Brian's asking if we've experienced any issues with the new system. No, we had some bugs to work out. We asked to be the guinea pig because I knew I was doing this webinar, but Laura and I have, I think, worked the bugs out. The one thing that does happen that isn't ideal is that once you've registered a learner, about a day later, you'll get an email that says this learner hasn't started yet. And that's nice to know because I think you then know that the learner's registered, but what happens for us is we actually probably haven't notified the learner by then. So you just have to accept that email. But at least you know they're registered. Otherwise, there haven't been any issues that we've been aware of so far. But having said that, we have only 2 have gone through the system. Only 2 of our learners have completed it, and we only have a few others that we've registered. So. But I am in contact with the organization that created this for us, and they're really responsive to making changes as much as they can if we come across anything that we want tweaked a little bit. Anything else? Okay, thank you. So I will make sure this gets to the website and have Kayla circulate it once it's ready for access. But again, email me if you'd like it before then. And thank you very much for attending.